right now. They've been waiting. The Late Show with Matty Johns, brought to you by Chemist Warehouse.
Thanks, Stu. Welcome to the show, everyone. Keep the applause going. Fletch, Heine and Hodjo. Hey, boys, let's get straight into it. A lot to talk in and around this game. Knights in Golden Point, 26-22. Let's have a look at the winning play once again. And Fletcher Hunt, it was his play. Kalen Ponga started it. High kick, but exceptional night for Fletcher Hunt. Fourth game in the NRL, and he was very good. The two Fletchers were Fletcher Sharp and Fletcher Hunt. But, boys, they pinched it. It was a long way back for Newcastle. Not often the home side gets booed off at half-time and ends up winning the football game.
16-0 at half-time, I didn't expect them to come back, but it's obviously not enough points to win the game these days. And look, I thought when they lost Tyson Brazil pretty early in the game that they were going to struggle with it. And they lost, but then Manly lost Lehigh Hopewadi with a head knock, so that evened things up a bit. But yeah, the first half Manly compared to the second half Manly, totally different. I didn't see Olaquadu in the second half. Yep. I barely saw Cherry Evans in the second half.
Well, and especially if you go off the first half, like hitting those two men was just dynamic. They were scoring tries, making meters, but the second half looked like they were just didn't want to be there. You know, like 16 points up, whether they took the foot off the gas and thought they could just hold on to that lead. But as you know, in football, you can't hold on to any lead.
But Hodjo, both sides were like so hot and cold. I mean, what about the try that Manly scored to make it like 22-16? How soft that was back through the middle, like with the game on the line, and you said, well, OK, the balloon's been popped, but and they find their way back and they win. And we said before, as Hindy was right, you know, Manly in the first half were exceptional. And like the reason they got booed off was some of the tries that Manly scored were soft.
Yeah.
Like Newcastle's performance in the first part, defensively, they were terrible in the first half.
Well, they dropped so much ball, and this has been what Newcastle have been doing all year. When they hold the ball, they've got some players who can create something out of nothing. Fletcher Sharp was very good, but I thought the best player for Newcastle was Dane Gagai. Yeah. Now, there's been some rumours going around that they're not going to re-sign him. Well, he's had 11 tackle breaks. He is a very experienced player, and he's always... You very rarely see him play a bad game.
If the Knights don't pick him up, someone...
I tell you now, Dane Gagai... I don't know how many he's played his 300 game just recently. I don't know how many he's played for Newcastle. Probably up around 200. I've rarely seen him play one bad game for Newcastle. Through the years that we were getting the wooden spoons and we were hopeless. Yeah. We were terrible some of those seasons. He was always exceptional. Mate, he's got to be re-signed.
Yeah, I know, but there was talk. He probably will be after tonight.
You'd hope so.
No, but the future looks bright for Newcastle, and the fact that, I mean, Fletcher Sharp, every week he's doing it. We always discuss what's his best position. I think he's a fullback.
Well, Fletcher, I'll tell you the other bloke that we just haven't, who arrived, this fella here, Kai Pearce-Paul, I thought he was our best.
Yeah.
Like, he came from Wigan and he was spoken about as being like England's Sonny Bill with massive raps. We just haven't been able to get the best out of him. Tonight, I think was his best.
Yeah, I thought, I'm with you there, Matty. And last week as well, he scored that try just by hitting the hole. He's the one... Between him, Lucas on one side, Kai Pearce-Paul on the other. Yeah. They're the ones that seem to straighten the attack for the Knights and try and change things up. So the Knights' first try came from both those two back rowers, straightening up one of those plays in that set of six. But Kai Pearce-Paul, is he moving on?
Kai Pearce, yeah, I think he is.
Yeah. Tigers getting him.
We had Will Price, who went back, and Kai Pearce-Paul, Torquay's going to the Tigers. Let's have a look. And 16-0 at half-time was a good result for Newcastle because Manly had bombed a couple of tries and it just allowed us to hang in there. But you see, we'll have a look at the reset half-time. Now,
you were used to that, Matty, up there?
I'll tell you what, it happened a few times.
Yes.
Remember when Joey dyed his hair red? And,
yes.
But, I mean, that rarely happens in Newcastle. No. With Newcastle, mate, they'll cop a flogging as long as you put in. Yep. And obviously the crowd at half-time didn't believe they would.
I was just going to touch on that. Like, I obviously don't see that from Newcastle too much, and even at the Broncos, you don't often see that. But over the last couple of years, when the Broncos actually got booed for the first time, you know, when they're down at the bottom of the ladder, it just looked like one of those things that it just was not possible ever for a Brisbane crowd to boo the Broncos. But as you saw here with the Newcastle Knights, just because two massive clubs, right? Two proud clubs, and you just don't often see it but fans are just so
That's it.
so invested in them.
They'll cop a loss,
Yep.
but they want
Gotta
to
put
see.
in.
That's right. DCE, Hodjo, and all's well that ends well. Newcastle got the result there, but DCE it was a mixed night. Hodjo. I'm not going to speak for Queensland in any way, shape or form. You're a Queensland legend. I just find it hard to believe, Hodjo, that they would drop their captain in the middle of a series.
Yeah, look, I don't know. It's a tough one. I know Nathan wants us to pick him, but look, I think...
Careful what you wish for, Nathan.
Yeah,
No,
but if I look at it, right, like, it's such an important game. Like,
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, we have to pick him for game 2. He's our captain. We need some leadership. Obviously, game 1 didn't go our way. New South Wales was just too clinical, right? But I think we have to pick him in game 2, and if it doesn't work out, if we lose the game or he doesn't perform, well, then you look for a Tommy Dean or someone like in game 3, looking for obviously next year. But I think it's too much of a risk. I think personally to swap everything out.
I agree. I think, given what Daly has done for that Maroons jersey,
Yeah.
you give a champion a chance to redeem himself.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
he's played
There's only
25
so much
games.
you can do as a half. You'd know this.
Well, when
your forwards aren't laying that platform for you,
but
that's not us. We used to do it for the Blues. We're talking about yours.
We flogged you.
I finished.
flogged you,
I'd stood down for representative duties.
Yeah, he stood down just to give you blokes a go.
We flogged you when the old mate did the old, you know.
It's good times.
Now, other news this week, just off Manly, of course, the Trbojevic brothers coming off contract. There's talk Jake will definitely stay. He'll cop less to stay. And look, Tom would as well. Tom has come out and said that he doesn't want to stand in the way of some of the young blokes like Kohler and Lee Hopewadi, but he'll never play against Manly. He said he'd rather move to the Super League. Look, they'll re-sign Tom. You cannot let either of those blokes go.
No, remember last year when he wanted to give money back? This is the type of bloke he is. Manly won't get rid of either of the Trbojevic.
No way.
And if he goes to Super League, I guarantee you he wins.
Well,
Man of
can
Steel.
you imagine if he went over to the Super League and he had a year like he did a few years ago? And it just...
You do it on one leg.
Maybe French rugby. That's what I'm hearing.
Is it?
Trbojevic is French.
Yeah. Is it?
No, it's Serbian.
Yogurt?
Yeah, but which is close to French.
Work with us, Matthew.
Technically, I think Serbia is probably closer to China than it is France.
I
Chinese
failed geography.
Did you?
Yeah. I was terrible at geography.
What about history? Wish I studied at school.
Should have, mate. Should have listened more.
Things you could have learnt.
Geography, topography, all that stuff.
Sorry?
Now, the other news, Mal Meninga, Hodjo expected tomorrow he's going to be named as coach of the Perth Bears. And it's good to see, mate, they've got to get going. Geez, they're on the clock, aren't they?
Yeah, look, they are. And I think, obviously, we all need to make a big splash over there. And what a bigger splash than obviously getting the big man as the coach. I just think he's crazy, though. Like, to give up the Kangaroos job where it's not easily, but you can sit back and relax. You're coaching the best players. But, look, good on him. Obviously, he's got ambitions. And I think when he coached, he was a lot younger than what he was. And then, obviously, coaching in the Maroons for so long and now here, I think he's got that ambition to be a coach week in and week out. But, you know, to go over there and start up a new side, like, it's a big test. So, look, good on him. Hope it goes well for the big fella.
Big question is who's his assistant's going to be now.
Yeah,
Because we know Mal's a great coach, but he hasn't coached that long, full season for a long time. So who's his assistant's going to be?
Sorry, did your alarm just go off?
It's embarrassing. I bought myself a $50 watch. And I don't know how to operate it. It's an hour and a half fast.
But why have you set your alarm for 9:58?
Well, that's I don't. It just goes.
Is it a ladies' watch?
So it's not a ladies' watch. Don't start that bullshit. It's not a ladies' watch.
Did you get it in a skill tester? You know those little skill testings?
Oh no, no good at those.
He wouldn't spend his money on one of those.
Looks good.